don't mind just letting me be able to share my screen so that I can share some of the resources with you guys too. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. My computer was down. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm super excited to share with you guys what I've got going on for my director boot camps. And I'm really excited to learn from you guys too. If you've done a director boot camp or any type of boot camp like this, and if there's anything that we could add to make it better. One thing that I'm really trying to work on is to kind of create this journey from enrollment to director. I know we've been really focused before on like the success in 60, but I really feel like in order for us to rank, advance, and grow, we need directors, we need our teams to have directors. And so I've been really trying to figure out like how I can focus on that. And so one of the things is kind of doing this new Rep Mentorship into like a success in 60 thing, and then doing the director boot camp. So the director boot camp is something that I'm going to start doing quarterly. And at the end of the year, like this quarter that's coming up starting in October, this will be a qualification for a director retreat in the spring, which I'll kind of explain all of that as well. And then the other quarters will be smaller incentives, or maybe if we do like a bi-yearly get together or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I've got some Google documents and some things that really just help me kind of stay organized. So less organized than all of the tabs at the top of my screen there. So don't pay attention to that. Okay, so this is just kind of, and you can read ahead or whatever, but I'm going to kind of read through this so that, because this is my brain dump of what I want to do for pre-boot camp and then while the boot camp is going on. So I truly feel like there's different ways that you could do this. You could do 30-day, 60-day, 90-day. I am specifically doing this one coming up starting in October, 90 days, just because I have a couple reps that I'm really trying to help them push really hard for Zaya Executive and Double Zaya Executive. And so how I'm doing this bootcamp specifically is I'm actually allowing my level 1 and level 2 people or levels that are senior reps to join and have the potential to qualify for this retreat. That'll be all expenses paid except for their flight. And the reason that I'm doing that is, which I kind of mentioned on the last call, is because I really need like my level 1s to become leaders, and they need those directors in their level 2s. So that's why I had them invite them in there too. So you could do this strategically with one leg. Like if you need one girl to hit double Zaya, or you're really pushing for a couple groups, you could do their level 1s and 2s and not even have yours in there. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of different ways that you can do it. So whatever fits your organization. So I think the ones that I've done in the past have been 30 days. And I just feel like if they're if they just got to senior reps, sometimes it can be like, okay, how am I going to hit director in 30 days? Which we all know that it's possible. We've had those reps do it. But if we have them coming into this 90-day kind of expectation period, I feel like it's a little bit more feasible and easier to break down the steps to get there. So pre-boot camp, I decide the qualification to actually get into the boot camp. So is it going to be senior rep, or is it senior rep and junior rep? And you can also have your executives come in here too. So one of the things that I'm doing for the director retreat is I'm going to have a second tier qualification. So if they hit executive, then they get a VIP day, which is like a spa, a private chef, like all of that stuff. So, if they double rank advance and they go from director to executive, then they hit it. So just kind of more things for them to go after, and then incentives for my directors too. So decide the qualification period to get into the boot camp, to get into the retreat or to get the incentive. So obviously this one is going to be a 90-day qualification period, but again, you could do 30 days, 60 days. And decide how long they need to keep the qualification for to achieve the incentive. I think this is big too, rather than just saying like, yay, you hit director, you qualified for my trip in April. It's like, yay, you hit it, but you have to maintain it for an extra month. So that, everybody is working to do all the things that you need to do on a daily basis to keep your rank and all of that stuff. Just kind of creating that culture there. And then I have a Facebook group and a Facebook thread that I will run this through. So I have already created the Facebook group, and to create some buzz, because I'm not going to start adding people in until next week, I basically, everybody that's already qualified, I'm calling it Road to Rosemary Beach, because we're going to go to Rosemary Beach in Florida. And so I've already got them like super hyped and excited and thinking that they're going to be working towards something starting in October. They don't know qualification period or anything like that, but they know that some exciting retreat is coming. So I have that Facebook thread, and then a week before October, I'm going to add everybody in there, and they'll get all the things, which I'll share with you guys here in just a second too. And then just decide the incentive that they'll get for achieving. So it doesn't have to be a huge director's retreat. Not everybody is, at that point. But one of the things that you could do is have like Aaron Bradley come and speak to everybody that achieves director, or Jeremiah, or, another top leader in the company, something like that. Or even just like, Nikes. Everybody loves, if free Nikes are involved, everyone's going to hit the incentive. So just kind of choose what incentive for achieving. And then I created a mastermind success manual, which I'll share with you guys and show you. And then I am going to do a Zoom kickoff call the first week to go over the success manual. And just to kind of share like different ways that you can hit director and all of that, just a kickoff call. I think it'll kind of bring everybody together. And then this is where I'm really going to focus on having those WHAM meetings, those weekly accountability meetings. So throughout the 90 days, and it's not going to be quite 90 days because we're going to end like December 13th with the weekly meetings. But these weekly meetings have shown and proven to really get people focused, to hold themselves accountable. And so that's something that's going to be required with this Director's Bootcamp as well. And then we'll be adding in the daily power hours, just like Sarah has for the entire team. And then I actually have daily power hour content plans, which I'll show you guys too. So that's kind of pre-boot camp. That's just everything that I decide and get ready before I actually add people into the group. And then I have this one broken down into month 1, month 2, and month 3. And I think that if you wanted to do 30 days or 60 days, you could even break it down into like week 1, week 2, week 3 as well. So it would be super easy. But for the first month, we're really focusing on recruiting. So I'm going to choose 3 to 4 leaders on my team that can go into the boot camp once a week and do a training on recruiting. Everybody has different styles. Everybody has different connections. Some people might go into a studio and do recruiting. So I'm going to have one leader from my team do one training a week, and I'll kind of break down the calendar for you guys too. Just deciding on what type of recruiting focused training they want to do. So is it recruiting hosts from your parties, through social media, through reach out, so those different types of recruiting. And then I kind of just made some notes for myself on what I want to schedule to post into the group. So on Sundays, it'll be the content calendar, which I'll share with you guys. Monday, we're going to do the weekly accountability meeting and the goal setting. Wednesdays will be the training that my leaders will come in and train. And then Friday is just always like a win. And then for that first month, I'm still going to have like little mini prizes for hitting incentives for that first month. So we're just going to kind of take some baby steps, since they're still going to need volume to hit director, like personal volume. I'm still going to require them to try and go for the 2,500 in volume, but the first month requirement is just recruiting 1 rep so that they can get the hang of leading them and all of that stuff if they haven't built a huge team yet. So that's the price for that. And then month 2, it's pretty much breaking it down the same thing, except we're going to be focusing on team building and creating volume. So this will be based around onboarding, launch parties, and building your own volume all together, and how to continue to do that. And then same weekly calendar, except the prize this time is going to be if they recruit 2 people and do 2,500. So you can kind of see how that's increasing there. And then month 3 will be more on leadership training, like how to lead that team now that you're a director or you're close to hitting a director, what types of things. And it could be like, rank advancement, gifts, or recognition, and different trainings around like that type of leadership. same weekly content calendar. And then this month, they'll get a prize for hitting a 3 by 2,500. So I just kind of put some different ideas here for director achievement prizes. If we wanted to have a guest speaker for the directors, and then obviously the retreat. So that's just kind of like the outline of how it would go. And again, you could do the same thing for a 30-day boot camp. But I wanted to share with you guys one of the things that I created. So there's two things that I am going to share with them when they get in. So, and I'll share this with you guys too, and I'll share the template so you can make it your own team name and all the stuff. So this is just the Mastermind to Success, Director in 90 Days, Success Smile. What did I call it? A manual. So before we begin, it's just like little check boxes, and it just kind of lets them know, like, make sure you have all of your yeses checked, and then you'll be good to go. That means that you're committed and you're ready, and let's do this. And then I just created this director roadmap, and I know this is not the only way to do it. And that's why I wanted to have the kickoff Zoom call to go over this, so that they don't feel, here, I can zoom it in. So they don't feel overwhelmed. But all of this PV equals 10,000 in PV. And then if they were just to have, 3 reps under them that had people under them, again, they could have 2 reps that have rock stars. And so I'll go over all of that with them. It just kind of helped to break them down a little bit so that they could see where the volume needed to come from. And then let me see if I can zoom out. And then obviously I have the qualifications here so that they know what they're going for. I created a blank tracker for them. And then just additional resources. Again, this is like a very basic document, but team page, team calls, the weekly accountability calls, and then our larger team website. And I put the Zaya Papaya link on there. And then one thing that I thought would be pretty valuable is, so we have the daily, the business activity trackers and things like that, but I kind of wanted them just to have something that they could focus on, like for the entire month that they're in the boot camp. So this is just like a checklist that they could use. They could print off a couple of them and use them like daily or weekly. But these are just like the action items, the income producing activities that if they only focused on this, then they're going to be good and they're going to be hitting their goals. So it's pretty basic stuff. So then we have one of those for each month, and it's the same thing. That doesn't change even though the training throughout changes. And then it's just like, congratulations, you reached director, hold your rank, keep climbing, partner with other women on the team to, keep that success going. And that's it. It's a very, very basic document. So we'll just go through that. And I mean, everybody likes a workbook and something that they can hold and thumb through and all the check boxes and stuff. So, and then as far as the content each week, so this is not going to change either. Hopefully it saved. Oh my gosh, I was going to have a heart attack. Okay. So this is just something that I'm going to post on Sundays. And it just gives them an idea of what to work on during the power hour each day. So they could do all of their work for the day within this hour. So over here at the top, I put like the 30 minutes worth of the connecting, inviting to rep, and inviting to host. And then you've got the actual like daily item that they could spend 30 minutes on. So a call to action. So one thing that we're going to do is everybody on the team on the same day, Sundays and Mondays, we're all going to be focusing on like heavily recruiting and talking about the opportunity. So then we can hopefully kind of bring everybody in at the same time, which I know that's not how it's going to work, but just so that we're all having the same call to action on the same day. So Mondays will be call to action. Tuesdays, they can post about the host opportunity. Wednesdays, obviously new releases. Thursdays will be a connection challenge. So making sure that they're spending, the time following people, commenting, liking, making those genuine connections. Follow up Friday, pretty self-explanatory. And then Saturdays are just kind of like unplugging and doing whatever they want. And then Sunday would be another day where, at the end of the day, they actually start talking about the business opportunity and stuff like that again. So this will just give them something to focus on during that power hour, rather than just sitting there and being like, I don't know what to do, and just like get kind of distracted scrolling. So, but that's it. That's ultimately like how I'm planning on running this last, or not this last, but this next director boot camp. And so, yeah, do y'all have any questions? I know that was kind of probably a lot, and I'll share all of this with you guys in the executive group and everything. Okay. So Allie asked, so you only invite senior reps. So I'm indifferent on that because I know that some junior reps can jump straight to director, but I think now I'm going to be a lot more focused on having a senior rep focused training or group or thread or something that really focuses on them hitting senior rep. And then once they actually hit senior rep, it's like they get to graduate into being invited into the director boot camp. Because I feel like at that time they can probably, at junior rep, I feel like it could be a little overwhelming to grasp becoming a director that fast and all of the things and the volume that you need to hit director. I know we have those reps that just like soar to the top, but I don't know. I think breaking it down and having their own success little pods kind of can help them get that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Do you have any questions? Does it seem overwhelming? Do I need to change anything? Are people going to be like, what the heck do you have us doing? But I'm like, if I am paying for you to go to Florida, you're going to earn it. So.
No, I love that. Will you also share, like all of this was so good. Will you also share your pods that you do? You were telling me about the launch pods. That's not what
yeah, the new Rep Mentorship for sure.
New Rep Mentorship pod.
Yes, let me share my screen. So really quick, before I share my screen, which this is probably self-explanatory by the name of it, but so for the new Rep Mentorship, I only do this for 2 weeks and I do it at the very beginning of every single month. And moving forward in October, it's going to be heavily rep recruitment focused. Right now, it's been like dripping them, and you'll see this in the document. It slowly drips them like, here's how you log in. Here's where you find this information. Share your why, share your outfit of the day. Get them comfortable sharing that stuff in like an intimate setting. But I feel like to get them, like we already launched their parties for them. So they get those customers pretty quickly and they get those quick wins. And so I'm like, how can we get them people on their team and get that growing really quickly? So I'm going to change the verbiage up in October, which when I share the document, you'll be able to see all the changes anyways, to be more like, okay, here's how you recruit, here's how you reach out, let's focus on this, you know, all of those for the first 2 weeks. So hopefully they can get those reps into the discovery events and all that stuff. So, so I'm going to share my screen, but it's really pretty self-explanatory, I think. Let me find it. Okay. So, so what I do for this, so I start this the first Monday of the month where you're going to have a full month. So, so like in October, it would start on October 4th. And I have everybody that has recruited anybody new, I add them into the Facebook thread. It's not a group, it's a Facebook messaging thread. And then I have them add everybody that they recruited that month. And I have them talk about the new Rep Mentorship in their one-on-one strategy session that they have with them too, just letting them know, like, we do have a new rep training that's coming up. You're going to be invited and all of that stuff. So basically, every single day for 2 weeks, and I skip the weekends, I post something into this thread. Obviously, it can't be scheduled. So if you wanted to do it scheduled, you could do a group, but I just feel like we have so many groups going on all the time that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do a messenger thread. But this could work in GroupMe or whatever, a text message, however you want to do it. But yeah, so I mean, all I do is I copy and paste. Like I've got post one Monday. And so the Monday of the new Rep Mentorship, I post in there. Tuesday, it goes in there. So you can see like these ones are pretty basic where it's like, welcome, you know, to the new Rep Mentorship, post your outfit of the day, just in case they have never posted an outfit of the day on social media yet. Now they can just post it in this group. But like I said, this is going to change to be a little bit more recruiting focused, but I still think they need help figuring out their why, how to announce their business, and all of that stuff. But I think like creating an invite list, that kind of stuff could be different. One thing that I think would work really well with the new Rep Mentorship is starting to add Zoom calls, like have like a once a week. So 2 Zoom calls where you get together and share how to do a power hour and kind of guide them like, okay, we're focusing on connections. This is how you make connections. This is what you would do on social media. And just kind of guide them through that a little bit more. But I think that's one of the only other things, but I've got links in here to like the team website, the Zaya Papaya site and stuff like that, so that they can quickly get access to that. And then the engagement has been really great as far as like getting the new reps comfortable talking to each other and comfortable like reaching out, and they've had good ideas and stuff like that too. So, but that's pretty basic, but I do have that set on my schedule for the first 2 weeks of every single month. And then it's like already the 3rd week and I'm like, gosh, I got to start planning the 2nd week already, which is totally fine because I think that it's starting to get more volume and things like that for the girls that are underneath too. But no, for the Katrina, I don't know if you're asking for the new Rep Mentorship, but for the new Rep Mentorship, I'm inviting everybody on the team. Monica and Katie, they've got a great system going too. So obviously they're not adding their girls in there, but everybody else on my team. And then probably once I get more double Zayas or Zaya executives, they'll probably branch off and do their own new Rep Mentorship. Or that's something that I would like to teach them and empower them to do, is once they hit Zaya executive to kind of take that, that responsibility on. But when you have more people in there, like just like with the parties, like 20 to 30 new reps in there, there's so much great engagement and just, you know, chatter and stuff like that. I think it's really, really, really helpful. For the director boot camp, for this one specifically, I am only inviting my level 1s and my level 2s, and then Andrea is inviting her level 1s and level 2s. So one of my level 1s is inviting her level 1 and 2s because we want to get her to Zaya executive by the end of the year, or double Zaya executive. And so we're trying to be a little bit more strategic with the girls that we're adding in there. But for a incentive where I'm not paying for an entire trip for them, I would invite the entire team to, you know, if you're senior rep, you can come in and, you know, you'll be entered into a drawing for Nikes or whatever, however I end up doing that. So yeah. I'll post the new Rep Mentorship Google Doc in there too, and I'll just do the shared link. So just beware, anything that I change is going to change yours, but you can make a copy too. You can copy it into your own Google Drive and then make your own changes, and whatever I do, you won't notice, you won't see a difference. So
that was so helpful. Seriously, you're so good at being dialed in on that stuff. I am not good at processes, so that was really good. Thank you.
Well, I'll keep you updated on how it goes.
Yeah, let us know.
Keep us updated.
Yeah. So gorgeous and so organized. I loved that director.
Oh, thank you.
Print out workbook. That one was so amazing. Yeah, I agree, Joe. So I'll mute myself though.
That's it. That's all I have. And so if anybody else, you know, if you don't have any other questions, then I guess I'll close it out because Sarah told me to close it out. So I don't have like an implementation hour or minutes or anything like that, but I will add these into our group. And then if you guys have any questions, of course, like feel free to reach out. And if you change anything or something works for you, let us know so that we can add it into and make those changes. So anywho, I hope everyone has an awesome week. It has so much fun in Cancun. I'm going to miss you guys. So y'all have the best time. Bye.